Hey people, welcome to another vlog. This is going to be the stage 3 of the cemetery build. And as you can tell, I am downstairs in the basement, in my basement workshop. Yeah, see, workshop, all my stuff. The majority of this project is going to take place in my outdoor shop. I'm starting out down here because I had one of the supplies for the build down here. You know, in build, what are we doing? We are trashing, literally trashing, the old mausoleums, getting broken up and thrown in the trash. Or mausoleum, I guess that's what we ended up calling it. So people started using that word for some reason, mausoleum instead of mausoleum. But we're going to be trashing the old mausoleum. And this vlog is going to be rebuilding a totally brand new mausoleum. But I don't know if I'll get to the entrance and exit arch, which is part of the mausoleum. That might be a project for next year. I don't know. I'm going to redo those as well, depending on when I have time, if I have time. But right now we've got the mausoleum itself we've got to do. We've got some carving and wood building, and I got a lot of work to do with it. But one of the detail pieces I picked up for this mausoleum are these right here. These are actual urns used to hold cremated remains. You know, you cremate your loved one. You put them in a big urn. This one here will hold up to a 200-pound a person's ashes. These little ones are actual keepsake. You know, if you wanted to share the ashes with your loved ones, you can get these. You know, they hold probably about 4 ounces, 5 ounces of ashes. Take the top off, pour it inside, what have you. I'm not filling them. They're going into the haunt. They're going to they are going to become a permanent part, or semi-permanent part, of the new mausoleum. My idea was, because with these little ones, anyone can walk by, grab one, and walk off with it. I'm going to make a box with a plexiglass face, clear face, and these are going to get mounted and embedded into the walls of the mausoleum. So our first step in this project is going to be making boxes to hold these. I need to have the boxes, I need to know what the size of the boxes are going to be so I can plan for it when I'm laying out for carving and stuff on the foam. But that is one of the detail things. And let's see, the small ones are about 2 inches high. The big one, I have no idea how tall that is. I'll measure it when I get it out in the shop. I bought them on eBay. You can get on eBay, if anyone's interested in getting some of these for their haunt, these small ones. They're called a keepsake urn. And you can get them either singularly, like this one here. I thought I had ordered 4 of them. I only ordered 1. But you can get them as a set of 4 for around 40 bucks, 30, 40 bucks for a set of 4. The big ones, that's a cheap one, and I spent 60 bucks on that for a cheap one. And they go up to a couple of $1,000, you know, depending on how elaborate and how much money you want. And since this is going for a Halloween display, I went cheap. I did 60 bucks. And to be honest, I like the look of this a lot better than some of the high-priced ones. But you can get them on eBay. And it doesn't take long to get them. I ordered them and had them a week later. So I think they were U.S. manufacturers, not from China. But you can find them on eBay. You can just look for cemetery urn or whatever. You can get them on eBay. And there's hundreds of different styles, different patterns. This one here, I might end up adding to one of the new tombstones. I don't know, you know, set it out in front of it or something. I haven't decided what I'm going to use that in the mausoleum. But these 12 and that one are going into the new mausoleum. In this segment, It's brought to you by Kaylee, who wants to go for a walk. In 102-degree temp. I've been out here off and on all morning. I took a break because I was sweating like crazy out here. It's hot. Hot, hot, hot. And she still wants to go for a walk. Been busy. Went down to buy supplies at Home Depot. Basically 2x2s and foam. They were out of 1-inch foam, so I'm going to have to get that later. I really don't need it right now. They were also out of 2x2s. So I went and bought 2x4s. I spent the better part of this morning cutting them down into 2x2s. It's a hell of a lot more work, heck of a lot more messier, because you end up with sawdust and crap all over the place. But it does end up being cheaper. 8-foot long 2x4 is like 30 cents cheaper than an 8-foot long 2x2. And you buy one 2x4, you get two 2x2s out of it. So I've been spending the morning cutting 2x2s. I got those there and those there. I also got in here and got my foam cut. Most of the panels are 4 foot, so I didn't cut anything off the width on the majority of them. But the height is 6'10½". So I come down to length. Then I have a couple of 3-foot panels and a couple of 2-foot panels. So I got those all cut. Now I need to get in here and start getting the framing put together for the panels. And what we're going to do, I think, I'm going to put the framework together the same way I do my back walls. You guys, majority of you have seen how I do my framework for my wall panels. But I think I'm going to go panel by panel. I'll get one frame put together, and then we're going to put the foam on it, because the foam's got to be glued on. I don't want to make it so I can remove the foam. So we're going to actually glue the foam onto the wood. And if I do it panel by panel, then another day, another dollar in the heat. Yesterday we got in here, we got the foam cut to its different sizes. I also got all the 2x4s cut down to 2x2s. And we got them all assembled. All the framework. I did forget one thing last night. These here, these are the headers. These are the parts that go above the doorway that you walk under. I forgot about those. I had to throw those together this morning. It didn't take too long. Now, next step. I got one frame in here. I've got to adhere the foam to the wood. And what I'm going to be using, product placement for YouTube, is Gorilla Glue. I just squirt a bead around the surface of the framework, lay a sheet of foam up there, and then since you need to secure the items you're gluing, and I don't have near enough clamps to do all the framework, I'm going to be using some fasteners. These are what I use for attaching my skin panels to my wall framing in the haunt. But the exception is that it's a longer screw. But we get the glue on, get the foam up there, and then I just drive these in every so often to hold the foam into place until the glue dries. And I can come to take these out. Now, if these will dimple when I put them in, will dimple the surface a little bit on the foam, so they'll leave definite marks of where these fasteners are going to be at. Don't have to worry about that, because those will disappear when I go to carve the foam. And yeah, I'm going to do this now instead of carving first. Farmer Sue hard at work. She's drying some tomatoes. End of the day, progress report. Got in here and we got all the panels glued up. I got the 2-inch foam glued up onto the frames. They've been sitting out here most of the day and it looks like they're pretty much dry. But it's the end of the day, so I ain't going to do anything with them other than move them back in the shop, because I'm not leaving them out here tonight. But I'm gonna have to come through and clean off the edges and stuff. But these are pretty much ready now for carving. Meanwhile, in the shop, I got started on another thing I needed before I could start laying out the pattern for carving. The boxes for the little urns. I just got done gluing up the last of them. Now I gotta let these set overnight, let the glue dry and hard, and then tomorrow we can come in and start doing some sanding, cleaning up. I got some dirty plexiglass here. That's what my plexiglass looks like every year. After sitting a year out here in the shop, it needs to be washed before I can put it in. And I got the back plates that go on the back of the boxes. So I still have a little bit more assembly to do, and I need to stain the boxes. But that is going to be tomorrow's project. We'll get these finished up, we'll get them stained, set off to the side, and I'll start getting the panels in. And we'll start getting the pattern laid out. Right now I gotta drag all the panels in here. I don't dare leave them sitting outside loose like that. They'll blow all over the place if the wind comes up. I got a late start. I slept in this morning. But we've been out here working on the boxes for the little urns. I've got 13 of them done. They're all assembled. Now I need to come back through and stain the outside wood. The lip here and the outside of them. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the inside. Originally, I was going to use cloth and just spray glue and attach some cloth to the inside to help contrast whichever urn is going in the box. But with all this COVID crap going on, I don't have access to the fabric store. They're doing a curbside pickup, and I have no idea what type of cloth I want, and I like to, you know, touch and feel and the stuff before, to make my decisions. You can't do that with ordering off the internet. You just pick a color. Yay, that looks good. You go to pick it up. No, that's not what I needed. So I think we're going to hold off on attaching any cloth to the inside. I think what I am going to do is I'm either going to stain the whole inside, or maybe paint the back panel white and just stain the lip around, and maybe go that way. I haven't decided. I need to go over with the set dresser and see what she wants to do. But I did bring one of the urns out here into the shop, so I can get my sizes and stuff done. And I set it up. There you go. That's basically all it's going to do. It's just going to hold that little urn. And right now the urn is in there loose. When I go to install it in the haunt, I'll put some hot glue on the bottom of it and actually stick it to the wood so it holds in place. Reason why I want to do that is with the wind and stuff, the walls tend to wiggle a little bit. And I'm afraid it'd knock over, and it's a pain in the ass having to take the plexiglass off to get, to fix the urn. So I'll probably hot glue them into place. But that's all the little boxes do. They just hold that little urn. And then the boxes themselves, when I go to do my pattern, I'll cut a hole in the foam so this will slip down inside of it. And probably stick out about ½ an inch or so. And then I'll put a board or something across the back that can screw the box in. That way people can't come around and steal my urns. So, but that project's done now, except for painting and staining and clothing, or what have you, which is a later project. But right now, my next step are going back to the wall panels. They've dried overnight. I need to go through, get all the screws out, and some of my wall frames were off by about 1/16 of an inch, so the foam's sticking out in spots, and I got Gorilla Glue and stuff showing. So I'm going to go through with a skill saw and come down and get things shaved down so they're smooth. And I got to do that to all the panels. Then we can start the fun process of doing layout and then carving and then all the other. It's a Friday night, And I decided to take the day off. I stayed in the house where we had air conditioning. It was cooler today, only got up to 100. We've had 104 the last couple of days. So I said, what the hell, I'm going to take the day off. Played video games with Morgan, had fun. I did come out after dinner though, and we started doing the layout process for the pattern for the mausoleum. And I got one panel done. According to the screen on my camera, it's not showing a lot of detail, just a bunch of lines. So we'll do that, and then we'll get a close-up view. I ended up doing what I call a chevron style window going down. Now I've got a square right there and a square here that I've got to cut out to accept these. But past that, we've got a plaque. It just says Johnny, February 1546 to March 1592. I put the month and year they were born and died in. I didn't put the date. Did the same thing for Mary, his wife. And then what I'm thinking about doing on the outside of the mausoleum by the doorway of doing a big plaque saying Morgan Family Crypt or Morgan Family Mausoleum, or something along that line. So I'm not putting their last names on either, and it makes it a little easier, and then the plaques can be a little smaller on the inside. But we've got one panel done. I've still got all of those, which are all the 4 foots, and I got the 3 foots and the 2 foots in the storage locker. All of them need to have the pattern drawn on them. Fun, fun, fun. But one down took, see, I got out here about 7, and it's just now going on 9. So it took almost 2 hours to lay that out. But then again, I didn't know what I was really doing. I was kind of feeling my way. Now all I got to do is replicate that pattern on those, changing the name and the dates on the plaques for each. It's just basically replicating now. And I'll leave that panel in here so I can get my measurements, and it should make things go a lot quicker. We'll find out tomorrow. I've got Saturdays off again, so I got some errands to do tomorrow morning, and I'll be out here tomorrow afternoon. We'll see if we can get a couple of more of these 4-foot panels done, figured out, wiped out, whatever. Now that all the layout is finished, we can turn our attention to start carving foam. And I got one of the 3-foot panels. We're going to start off with one of the small panels first so I can get the feel of it. I always have to get the feel of it every time I do it. But we have a change in the carving technique. I use a Dremel. I'm still going to be using a Dremel. My change will be with this. This is the original jig I bought back in 96 or 97. 1996, 1997. That held the Dremel that I used for my carving. It's showing its age and everything, and it was getting to the point where the Dremel set more at an angle than straight up and down, which was causing havoc with the with carving. So I went down and bought a new rig. Back when I bought that, Dremel did not have a whole hell of a lot of different attachments. Now they do, and one of the attachments they've got is a router rig, and it's a plunge router. So with the old one, I'd have to turn this screw up and down to get the Dremel to slide up and down so I can get my depth. This one here, I just turn a knob and the thing pops up and I can lower it down, set it, lock it into place. And it's also got a little bit bigger base on it as well. So haven't tried carving with it yet. I'm just getting ready to. But I figured I'd show you. I upgraded my carving finally. Anyway, this is what we got. So we're going to give that a try with the carving and see how these turn out. Okay, this took a while. First panel always does. But there you go. There's the first panel carved and done, and I went ahead and popped the boxes in. And the panel's moving. The boxes fit in there fairly tight, which is kind of what I want. I'm debating on running on the back here. See if I can get the camera into the right position. A board running across here attached to the 2x2s that I can screw these into. I don't want kids messing with it and stuff, because if they come out here and start yanking on this, they will be able to break the foam and get those out, and I don't want them disappearing. But it depends on, but there you go. One panel done. That's a 3-foot. I got one more 3-foot, the 2-foots, and a bunch of the 4-foots, and the 4-foots are really going to take a while. But like I was saying, the first panel always takes a while, because I'm trying to get technique and get a rhythm down on it. But I'm not exactly sure what I'm doing. I'm testing depths and everything else. But one panel done. Well, I got the carving done on the inside panels. And went down to Home Depot, picked up more supplies to do the outside and some of the other miscellaneous things I need to do. Got home, jumped right into doing it. I forgot to grab the camera and vlog it. So I've gotten a couple of panels done already. Basically what I'm doing now is I'm working on the back side of the panels. These holes here, and there's 3, are for those boxes. And the boxes fit right into them. Thing is I want to be able to secure them to the wall. So I'm putting a 1x3 furring strip across the back here, and I'm Gorilla Gluing and screwing it to the frame. That will allow me to slide the box in from the front, and then I can put a screw from the back of the box into this to hold them into place so people can't grab them and put them in their trick-or-treat bags. Also, these 3, this panel and those 2, I have a little bit extra work to do with them. I went down to Home Depot. I also picked up some 2x3s. And on this panel and that next panel, I need to attach them off to the side here. These will be these are, I should say, this panel and that panel are the ones that go at the end of the mausoleum. And I need to be able to attach the sidewalls to it. I've taken measurements, and with the 2x2 and this foam, it's 3 inches. So if I add a 2x3 to the on both sides here, it'll allow me to slide the next panel in and just screw it right into that and hold them together. So I've got on this panel and that panel, I've got the furring strips to put in for the little boxes. And I need to add a 2x3 to both sides. Been working on getting the bracing and stuff over the back of the panels. And doing whatever other little light maintenance I need to do to them. They're done. They're ready for paint. They're out on the patio. Another step, I went and made up the small boxes for the small urns I've got. I did not have the lumber to do the big box. Well, I picked that up. I picked the wood up yesterday to hold that, and it does fit. I just don't feel like taking that apart and putting it in there to show it to you. But anyway, that's done. I can set it off to dry, and because I put glue on all the joints except for the plexiglass, and then it'll be ready for painting here. So my next step is I've got 8 sheets of 1-inch foam out in the truck. I need to get in the shop, and I need to get it to cut the other side of the wall panels. So we're going to do that, and then we can get in here and get some of this mess. Alright, now that all the miscellaneous little projects are done, including getting all the skim panels for the outside of the mausoleum cut down to size, it's time to start layout of the pattern for them. And Swan and I got to talk, and when I do the skins for the old mausoleum, and I'm doing the same thing with this one, I do enough skins to go all the way around the mausoleum. So all sides are covered. As of yet, I've never had to use all the skins. It's usually a corner and one side of it. So about half the skins get used, the other half stay in storage. But they have come in handy when our layout for the haunt is to the point where we need extra panels, so I can fill in. The problem with the old style Mausoleum panels is that they didn't match the wall pattern or the skins that we use for the graveyard. They just didn't match. In fact, here's a piece of one now. This is one of the damaged ones I saved to use as a template if I ever needed it. This is what we use in our graveyard, this pattern. So what I got to thinking, so everything will jive, we're going to take this pattern and we're going to put them on the mausoleum. So the graveyard and the mausoleum will all look the same, while the insides of the mausoleum looks totally different. The fun part is this arch here. I went and just got done with lunch. During lunch, I traced out the arc and put my grout lines and stuff on, so I have a pattern. So I can basically just take that, transfer it onto that, sketch it out, and be done with it. Hopefully it's not that complicated of a pattern. It shouldn't take too long. But that's the look we're going for on the outside. With this one, we're going to have 3 depths. 1, 2, 2 depths. This is a surface material here. That's the surface of the foam. The grout line being the deepest point, and then the face of these the next. It's all easy, light carving, so it should go fairly quick. Layout is going to be the key. Once all the carving and sanding is done, we've got to come back through, and we did some heat treating on this too. So we'll be running all the panels through with the heat gun. So we've been working on the skins for the outside, and I believe, like I said in the last segment, and it's been a couple of days since I filmed it, we're trying to recreate this pattern. And this is a piece of one of our skin panels. And we want to replicate that look on the outside of the mausoleum. So we took a couple of days. We got the pattern all laid out. And it's a pretty good mimic of the skin panels, except it's a 4-foot wide panel instead of a 2-foot. Then we've moved into carving. And it's a little bit more detailed. I'll back up here a bit and get a little bit better look at it. Carved. I've even gone over and I've given it a light sanding through here. Now, third and final step for these before they're ready for paint is heat treating. And that's what it looks like. Heat treated. I know, everything kind of blends together. But you get over here a little bit closer, you see there's a ridge here. So I got my pillar and I got my brick and stuff. This is the first panel I did. That's my second. I started yesterday on the carving, late yesterday, and I got one panel done and part of that one done, which I just finished. When I did the heat treating on this, I had the water set a little too aggressively. In other words, I put too much water on the panel, and that's the pattern I got. I think I'm going to lessen it up a little bit for the rest of it. I don't want the damage dug into it as far, I don't think. I want more of a light pattern, a lighter pattern, like what's on the actual skin panel over there. But, like I said, I've got one panel done, and I got to heat treat that yet, and that still leaves 4 more full sheets. I'm saying 4, but there's only 3 here. That's because the 4th one's over there. I got 2 3-foots and 2 2-foots. Well, it has started. All the carving is officially done, and we are into paint. Starting out by putting my primer coat on, so now I got more of a pinkish white color instead of a straight pink color, which is kind of what I wanted. And it's just I bought the cheapest brand of white paint, latex paint that I could find. That's what I'm using for my primer coat, and I water it down a little bit. But these are all the panels that go on the inside of the mausoleum. And here, I got started on the exterior panels. And I got 3 panels on the 4-foot and both the 2-foot. Still have those over there for comparison there. But I still have those to spray. We had a lot of miscellaneous things popping up today, so I wasn't out here as much as I wanted. I was hoping to get all the panels base coated today. It didn't happen. And tomorrow's going to be a busy day too, so I don't know how far we're going to get out here. But painting is proceeding. Well, I don't remember exactly when I shot the last segment. I think it's been about a week ago. But we have been busy in here. Got a bunch of the panels done. This is the one I did last night, and I need to come back through with a lighter gray. I've got, you know, some white and stuff kind of peeking through in a couple of spots that I missed. I was tired last night. I missed some areas, so I gotta go back through and touch this panel up. And it looks like that panel there needs a little bit of a touch up too. It's really hard to tell when you're gonna get this type of stuff, because when you put the paint on, it's wet, it looks like it's covered, but then when it dries, the paint shrinks a bit and does that. But these are the interior panels. That's the color scheme we're going for. Pull this one out here. This is one of the 3-foot. And we'll back up so you can get a little bit of better view. That's what the outside skins are going to look like, which is exact copy of the graveyard panels. And the graveyard panels this winter will be getting repainted to look like this, so they'll all blend in. This year they're going to stick out. But I've got 3 more of these full-size panels to do yet. And then after that, I got to get all this stuff kind of put away. Kind of stupid, since we're going to start setting up here in about 3 weeks. I'm just going to be dragging them right back out. But they're in the way, so they need to get put away. Now our next step, since we'll have all the skins and wall panels done, is we're going to be turning our attention to the little boxes. And this is probably a 1-day, maybe a 2-day job. We've got to get the plexiglass off of them, and then the boxes need to be painted. And I'm not too sure on the color scheme on these. These boxes fit inside that hole. So I do know the back panel on the on each box is going to get painted this lighter gray. So since I have the nameplate a dark gray, same as the border here, do I paint the box, you know, on this lip dark gray, or do I paint it green to match the inset? Haven't decided that. I gotta talk to Sue about it and see what she says. I'm at a toss-up. I think you could go either way on it. So I haven't decided that yet. And I got 3 more panels to do and clean up, you know, putting this stuff away to make up my mind. So I got a little bit of time. We should have all the painting done today. And then tomorrow we'll be getting in here and starting on those boxes. I also went down and bought some more square tubing for doing the rafters, and I'll get into that when I get to that point of doing that. A little more work gone and done. We're getting real close on getting finished with the paint, and that includes the boxes. I talked to Sue, and she agreed with me about the light gray in the center. The outside color, we did the dark green. We had a choice of either doing this dark gray or the green, which is the field for the inserts. And she agreed with me it'd be better to have the boxes the color of the inserts. Now, I just have the box sitting on the hole. The holes are a tad small, so I'm going to have to trim them a little bit when I go to install the boxes in the haunt. But they will be, you'll notice through this back bar, when I insert the box, the back piece here will be against that, and I'll run a screw through the back end of this so that people can't pull them out. So there's only going to be about 1 inch of the box sticking out. So Anyway, that's what we ended up doing. We ended up painting the boxes green, and like I said, they're not exactly in place yet. But got that done. I'm letting them dry a bit because I still got to go through and clean the plexiglass and reinstall the plexiglass in the boxes. Right now, I'm going over the last of the panels I painted yesterday and doing some touch-up. And I covered that in the last segment. Itchy nose. Sorry about that. But anyway, once I get the touch-ups done, I can get these panels put away, which will clean out the shop. That and get the plexiglass on the boxes and the boxes put away. We're getting there. I didn't film the process, but I just got done doing the rafters. As you can tell, I've been doing some metal working. I got my welding table out, the welder, the drill press, the cut-off saw, and I got a mess all over the place. I don't know which is worse, foam carving or welding. Each of them make a huge mess. But I just got done getting a rafter system put together. I came out with 4 stakes and some string and laid out the dimensions of the mausoleum. The mausoleum this year is 16 foot long. It's about a foot longer than the old one. And I made the rafter system modular. Each rafter is individual, but then I tied them together with a support beam. Now I decided to do it out of metal because of the last mausoleum. Last mausoleum I used 2x12s, and they worked pretty good except for down where they joined the walls, the little feet, you know, this part right here on them kept breaking off because there really wasn't much wood there, and I kept splicing and gluing them back on. These should hold up a lot better. But the only thing I have left to do is paint them. Just paint them. And then I can put them away, and that's done. I don't know if I'm going to get to the paint now or wait till this Christmas. And it's not that hard to get, you know, surface rust off, you know, if any collects on it. But Mausoleum is now 100% done, finished, kaput. Well, I shouldn't say totally finished. I got 2 more things I need to do. I need to redo the entrance and the exit arch, and I don't have time. We're getting too close to setup, and I don't want to be juggling like I normally do in years past, trying to build the haunt and work on a project. And normally my projects take up a lot of room in the shop, especially the big ones, and the arches for both the exit and the entrance to the mausoleum are big projects. And it'd be nice to have another staging area for a change, just having props all over the place. So I'm going to hold off on doing the arches, entrance and exit arch for the mausoleum. We'll slate that for next year along with a bunch of other little ass projects I've been meaning to do the last couple of years. So that means this vlog is officially closed, done, over. Stay tuned. I'm going to close out this segment now, close out this vlog. But don't click off. I've got a special announcement to follow this that is unrelated to this vlog. So stay spooky, stay toxic. Okay, special announcement. As I kind of dropped in the last segment, we are officially done with prop building for this season. It is September 2nd as I am shooting this. I don't know if I'll get it uploaded today or tomorrow, but it is September 2nd, and I'm sitting here with my cell phone looking at the calendar app. I went back and checked last year's setup vlogs. We started setting up September 10th, and our markets, our weekend work ran through September 24th, so I was only getting like 3.5 days a week to haunt build. Been doing some computing. I posted 39 setup vlogs last year. 39 setup vlogs would mean I'd have to start setting up by the 14th in order to open on time, and have everything done. The 14th of September, which is roughly about a week and a half away. So stay tuned. We're thinking in between September 10th and September 14th, sometime during that time frame, we are going to start setting up the haunt. As usual, the setup vlog, my vlogging will go into daily mode, and you'll have a vlog each day. I'll be posting it on YouTube, my Haunted Tents Facebook page, and my personal page. So anyone who wants to go along for the ride, come on along. And I don't know if we're going to be doing breakfast of the day, lunch of the day, dinner of the day, or Kaylee meals of the day. I don't know. I haven't gotten that far, and that's just kind of something I do off the cuff. I never plan for it. Just something that comes out. I don't know if that will happen this year. Another thing to kind of keep in mind too is with this COVID-19 crap going on. I'm not going to get into too much details on my personal views of it. A few of you who follow me on Facebook have heard me rant off and on about it because I am fed up with the crap. Health department might come into issue. Right now we're the mind frame we are going to open this year, hence we're doing the setup vlogs. The setup vlogs may end up, if the health department comes by and starts getting really pissy, might end up cutting off due to the fact they'll shut us down. I don't know. I'm hoping we can slide in under the radar, and if I stand up to them, they might back off a bit. But anyway, there might be an interruption in the setup vlog. That's the point for bringing this all up. We're going to start in between the 10th and the 14th, and we're going to go right through until we open, provided the health department doesn't rear its ugly head. As backwards as this town is that I'm living in, they're so far behind the schedule, or behind the times, it's hard to say what's going to happen. So I just wanted to put that caveat in. You might get like 4 or 5 setup vlogs and, oops, sorry guys, got to tear down. Health department shut me down. I don't know, but we're going to give it a try. So with that being in mind, keep an eye out in between September 10th to September 14th for the first setup vlog. And once the first vlog goes up, you'll get a vlog every day except for possibly 2. Depending on what day we start. Our last day of work is September 20th, which is a Sunday. And if I start on the 10th, we are going to have the 18th, or no, hold it, 13th and the 20th, where I will be out of town, so there will be no setup vlogs on those days. If I start on the 14th, it will just be the 20th. So bear that in mind, and I'll mention something about it too when we start doing the setup vlogs. I like to repeat myself, you guys know that. Anyway, end of the announcements. Take it easy, guys. Good luck out there. Stay safe, and I hate saying it, mask up.